But we did not come here tonight to simply celebrate the past. We came to say thank you. Thank you for your role in JWB's history. Thank you for your partnership today. And thank you for sharing our commitment to the children and families who call Pinellas Park home. In your packets that are at your seats, you'll find information about our investments in this community, the outcomes we are achieving together, and the resources available to support children throughout every stage of life. As we look ahead to the next 80 years, we see tremendous opportunity to deepen our partnership with the City of Pinellas Park. Together, we can continue identifying needs, expanding opportunities, and ensuring that more children and families have access to the support they need to succeed. Because the greatest legacy any community can leave is not the buildings it constructs or the roads it paves. It is the future it creates for its children. So for 80 years, JWB has stood alongside communities that share that belief, and we are proud to stand with Pinellas Park, honoring a legacy that began here, celebrating the impact we're making today, and working together to build an even brighter future for generations to come. Thank you for your partnership, thank you for your leadership, and your unwavering commitment to the children and families of Pinellas Park. Thank you.
Can I have the Parks and Rec team up here? Whereas Parks and Recreation Services promotes physical activities, mental wellness, environmental stewardship, and social connecting, contributing to the healthier and more vibrant community. Whereas the City of Pinellas Park is committed to maintaining high-quality parks, recreational facilities, trails, green spaces, and community programs that enrich the lives of the residents and visitors while fostering a strong sense of community. And whereas the dedicated professional volunteers and the community partners who support parks and recreation work year-round to create safe and welcoming and inclusive spaces where individuals and families can gather, play, learn, and celebrate. And whereas the month of July has been designated nationally as Parks and Recreation Month to recognize the vital role that local parks and recreation agencies play in building stronger, healthier, and more resilient communities. And whereas the City of Pinellas Park encourages all residents to celebrate Parks and Recreation Month by visiting local parks, participating in recreational programs, enjoying community events, and the appreciation that many benefits that many benefit from parks and recreations that are provided. Now, therefore, the City of Pinellas Park does hereby proclaim July of 2026 as Parks and Recreation Month and encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the importance, contribution our Parks and Recreation Department and to take advantage of the outstanding parks, programs, and recreational opportunities available throughout our community. So I'm going to hand this to you first. Then you can pass that down, and I will hand you the mic just to go over a few of the fun activities that our wonderful staff does.
Sure. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mayor and Council, for the recognition and the proclamation tonight. The recreation team is so proud to partner with the parks team to create incredible spaces within our beloved community to live their lives, to create togetherness with their families and their coworkers and their friends, young and old, no matter the interest. These special people up here are the ones who daily create opportunities for our community to participate in fitness activities and things that increase their mental health and their physical health and their overall well-being and sense of community. And we're just incredibly appreciative to be able to recognize this evening and these people and the programs that they are hosting for our community. And we invite you to come out, whether it's volunteering with TeenWorks or bringing kiddos to the ag farm for some education or learning to swim at the pool or for summer camp, any of the amazing things that, that this team provides. We invite you all to come out, and we appreciate the support for tonight. Thank you very much.
Read it on here and just give me the flag. Easier, yes. Let's send you a picture of that. Yes, sir, please. Yes, sir. Family and extended family. Yeah, he's hiding back there. Oh. And the support squad. And there's more. Many more. I've read this thing a million times, so power through. This proclamation is in honor and remembrance of Caden Riley. Whereas the community of Pinellas Park suffered a profound loss with the passing of Caden Riley, a remarkable young man whose vibrant spirit, resilience, and dedication left a permanent mark on all who knew him. Whereas Caden demonstrated a deep community and commitment to his community through his service at the Forbes Rec Center, where his hard work, energy, and enthusiasm brought joy to residents and staff alike during his summer months. And whereas Caden achieved a significant milestone by graduating from Pinellas Park High School in May of 2026, representing the pride of his family, his peers, his caregivers, and his educators. And whereas Caden exemplified true bravery and dedication, earning the prestigious and well-deserved distinction of an honorary firefighter, a testament to his heroic character and unbreakable spirit. And whereas he will forever be remembered as one of the strongest individuals to grace our community, a young man whose profound inner strength was matched only by the warmth of his famous, huge, and unforgettable smile that lifted every room he entered. Now, therefore, the City of Pinellas Park does hereby proclaim July 1st of 2026 as Honorary Firefighter Caden Riley Day, and that the memory of Caden shall be held in the highest esteem and permanently inscribed into the hearts of our community. We extend our deepest condolences to his family, his friends, the fellow firefighters, and urge all residents to honor Caden's legacy by carrying forward his strength and his smile. This is for you guys. And this as well.
Good evening, all. Chief Hughes. The last 3 weeks have been an absolute whirlwind of emotions. I have no clue how you guys have the strength to keep standing here day in and day out with just the loss of Caden. About 3 weeks ago, we got the phone call that things just were not looking good. Lieutenant Riley had rushed to the hospital. We got the call on Monday that we need to go down, and we started to really come together as a family, a department, administration, we got to make sure that Caden's life leaves a legacy, leaves a print, and is just memorialized forever. And so we said, we're going to make him an honorary firefighter. So we rushed down on Monday. I got to speak a little bit over his bedside, pin him as an honorary firefighter, immediately rushed back to the office, got with HR. We signed the paperwork. We made sure we did everything. Not only that, we spoke it into existence, but we physically did the act of solidifying Caden's impact into this world, into this community, within this department. So we made him an honorary firefighter. I got with Chief Layfield. We got with the state, and we said, what can you do? And they gave him an official certificate of completion. He is in the FDIC. He is listed as an honorary firefighter with the state. We did everything we could do so that Caden's memory could last forever. He will be hanging up in our hallways with the badge or the faces of all the other people that work for this department. So, Chris, we love you guys. Chelsea, we love you. Chris, same. Our hearts go out for you. We'll always be here for you, just like we will be for the rest of the 90 of you guys. Just let us know what you need, and we'll be there.
Thank you. So, I will tell you, during some of the events that we had over at the park, every single time that I saw Caden, he was grinning ear to ear, and he was an amazing young man. Over the years, I got to see him grow up. I think the very first time that we actually had a conversation, he was about this tall, and he just about hit Daddy here in his height. So just wanted to let you know that he had an impact on a lot of people in our community.
Thank you very much.
And it was all positive.
Thank you. Thank you
So,
very much.
thank you. I don't know if you guys want to.
Oh, yeah, I'll say something. Okay. First and foremost, good afternoon. Lieutenant Riley speaking. I would like to sit up and thank a couple of people. First and foremost, I'd like to sit up and thank the City of Pinellas Park for everything they've done for me and my family. I'd like to sit up and thank City Manager Bart, Fire Chief Chief Hughes, and Police Chief, he's not here, Chief G or Geisenberger. Did I say that right? Okay, good. He's not here too. Without them and all the support that we had from day one when that call went out, it was just phenomenal. It really was. I definitely like to sit up and thank Local 2193. Definitely like to sit up and thank the Honor Guard, PD, and FD Honor Guard. At the end of the day, I look at it as, hey, we're one big happy family, and my family stood up and helped us out. You know, that's the biggest thing right there. When it was time for my family to kind of like step up and help us out to make everything kind of go smoothly, they did. You know, and I'm so grateful, and thank you very much for that. And I like to just definitely thank my brothers and sisters that are standing up there beside us. Thank you guys very much for everything that you've done for me and my family. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done to kind of make this whole process a little bit bearable for us. And I can't personally repay you all, but thank you very much for what you've done for me and my family, and definitely for Katie, to continually keep honoring him for what he's done and what type of impact that he had in this community, in this city, and on all of us. Thank you very, very much.
That was the last one. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
At this time, we open the city council with any citizens who would like to come up and speak on anything that's not on the agenda this evening. If there's anybody that would like to come up and just ask questions of council or staff. Seeing none, we will move on to, we do have a few items that are quasi-judicial this evening. So if you're going to speak on a quasi-judicial item, would you please stand and be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Moving on to section 2, approval of minutes, Vice Mayor Butler.
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion we approve regular council minutes of June 23rd, 2026 as on file in the city clerk's office.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Please cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries unanimously.
Moving on to the regular agenda items, R1. Ordinance number 2026-23. I work for Northside Engineering, so I will not be voting on this, and I have filled out Form 8B. Turning it over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Item R1 is ordinance number 2026-23, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, Florida, adopting a revised master plan controlling development of a commercial planned unit development, CPUD, with underlying general commercial B1 zoning on a 0.56 acre parcel of land located at parcel number 33-30-16-40913-000-0020 on land more particularly described in Exhibit A, which is attached here to and made a part hereof, certifying consistency with the city's adopted comprehensive plan, providing for repeal of ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith to the extent of such conflict, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item number R1, ordinance number 2026-23's first reading prior to public hearing. It is quasi judicial, and city staff gonna read anything on it?
I do not have a presentation because it's the first reading, but I will have a presentation on August 11th for the public hearing.
Thank you. City Council would like to. Councilmember Seville?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to pass ordinance number
6-23.
Second.
Alrighty. Please cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries 4-0 with Mayor Bradbury abstaining.
Thank you very much. Moving to section 3, public hearings, item P1, ordinance number 2026-20.
Item P1, ordinance number 2026-20, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Florida, amending the Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 18, Land Development Code, amending Section 18-1526.3, providing for the inclusion of such amended ordinance in the Code of the City of Pinellas Park, Florida, providing for repeal of ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item P1, ordinance number 2026-20's public hearing and second reading. I am opening the public hearing and turning it over to Todd Byron.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Todd Byron. I'm a senior planner here with the city, and I'll be presenting item P1. This item is the second public hearing following the June 23rd public hearing. So this case is a request for an ordinance to amend Table 18-1526.3, authorized uses in the public zoning district, to allow communication towers as a primary use when the property has a land use designation of transportation utility TU. Conditional use approval would be required as part of this process. Currently, the use is only allowed as an accessory use in such cases. The summary of changes: the proposed changes include allowing communication towers as a conditional use on properties zoned public when they have a future land use designation of transportation utility TU. Any location proposing a new communication tower would need City Council approval and would have a public hearing. On June 4th of this year, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this case, and I'm here if you have any additional questions.
Thank you, Todd. City Council have any questions of Todd on this item? Seeing none. Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on item P1? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at its second reading and entertain a motion by City Council. Vice Mayor Butler.
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion, we pass ordinance number 2026-20, second public hearing and second reading.
Motion has been made in second. Please cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Item P2, ordinance number 2026-21.
Ordinance number 2026-21, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, Florida, amending the city's official zoning map by providing for a change in the zoning district from single-family residential R1 and Town Center TC to a unified TC designation for a certain parcel of land generally located at parcel ID 28-30-16-94914-000-0010 and more particularly described in Exhibit A, which is attached hereto and made a part hereof, certifying consistency with the city's adopted comprehensive plan, providing for repeal of ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith to the extent of such conflict, providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item P2, ordinance number 2026-21's public hearing, second and final reading. This is quasi judicial. I am opening the public hearing and turning it over to Megan.
Good evening. My name is Megan Montesino, Development Review Manager, and I will be presenting P2, which is REZ-2026-00003. The request is to rezone a property with split zoning located at 7791 52nd Street North from single-family residential R1 and Town Center TC to a unified TC zoning. Shown here is the property in question, located at 7791 52nd Street North. The land use is Community Redevelopment District CRD, and the zoning is split zoning, R1 and TC. R1 is the yellow and TC is the blue. Flood map shows that the property is in flood zone X, which is a low-risk flood zone. A summary is the proposed rezoning to Town Center TC will allow the property to rectify its current split zoning. Currently, there is a veterinary clinic and a single-family dwelling on the property. The mix of both uses is permitted in the proposed TC zoning district. The applicant is in the final plat process, but the plat cannot be approved until zoning is consistent across the entire property. And at this time of the request, there are no proposed changes to the property. Findings are that rezoning from R1 to TC to a unified TC is appropriate based on the surrounding area. The proposal meets the intent of the proposed TC zoning district per the Land Development Code, and the requested amendment is consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the adopted comprehensive plan, as well as the regulations of the Land Development Code. On June 4th, 2026, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval for this case, and I am here if you have any questions.
Thank you. City Council have any questions on this item? Seeing none. Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on this items or any comments? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at its second and final reading and entertain a motion by everybody. Councilmember Seville.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to pass ordinance number 2026-21, public hearing, second and final reading.
Motion's been made in second. Please cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries unanimously.
Whoops, my bad.
Moving on to item P3, resolution number 2026-10.
Resolution number 2026-10, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, Florida, vacating a right-of-way within a parcel generally located adjacent to 4090 78th Avenue North in Section 27, Township 30 South, Range 16 East.
Thank you. Item P3, resolution number 2026-10, public hearing, first and final reading. I am opening the public hearing and turning it over to Michael.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Michael Curliglio. I'm an associate planner here with City of Pinellas Park. I'm going to present items P3 and P4 together on the same presentation. Case numbers VAC 0925-00007 and VAC 0925-00008. The request is to vacate an unused and undeveloped right-of-way adjacent to 4090 78th Avenue North for P3, and P4 is to vacate an unused and undeveloped right-of-way adjacent to 4080 78th Avenue North. Here is an aerial map of the properties. They are adjacent to each other. They are again located at 4080 and 4090 78th Avenue North. The zoning for the property is multifamily residential, R6. Here's a land use map of the property. The property is located in the Community Redevelopment District, CRD. The subject property is in flood zone X, X shaded, and AE15, which are low risk to high risk flood zones. Here are a couple of site photos. Here is a sketch of the right-of-way for P3 and a sketch of the right-of-way for P4. So both right-of-ways were created by a deed in 1984. They're not improved or used by the public. They're completely landlocked. from other improved roadways. Utility providers have provided letters of no objection for this vacate request. Abutting property owners have also been notified of this request. The findings are the request meets the vacation of right-of-way requirements per section 18-1801 of the Land Development Code. The request is consistent with the applicable goals, objectives, and policies of the comprehensive plan. On June 2nd, Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of both of these cases. And I am here if you have any questions.
Thank you. Does City Council have any questions for Michael on this item? Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on item P3? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and at its first and final reading and entertain a motion. Councilwoman Reed.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number
6-10, public hearing, first and final reading.
Second motion.
Motion has been made and second. All those in favor, please, well, cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries unanimously.
Moving on to item P4, resolution number 2026-11.
Resolution number 2026-11, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, Florida, vacating a right-of-way within a parcel generally located adjacent to 4080 78th Avenue North in Section 27, Township 30 South, Range 16 East.
Thank you. Resolution number 2026-11's public hearing, first and final reading. I am turning it over to Michael just in case we need to add anything else.
I presented P3 and P4 together. I have nothing further to add.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
City Council have any questions of Michael on P4? Seeing none, is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on item P4? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at its first and final reading and entertain a motion by Councilwoman Reed.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026-11, public hearing, first and final reading.
Motion has been made and second. Please cast your ballots on Granicus.
Motion carries unanimously.
Moving on to section 4, our consent agenda, item C1.
Item C1, approve the appointment of Mr. Rick Ely to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Item C2 is authorization to sign a 3-year agreement with Environmental Systems Research Institute, ESRI subscription. Item C3 is authorization for the City of Pinellas Park to grant a drainage easement to Pinellas Park Water Management District for the property located at parcel number 27-30-16-31392-000-0350. Item C4 is authorization for the City of Pinellas Park to amend a utility easement for the property located at parcels 34-30-16-000-240-070 and 34-30-16-10548-012-0130, parcel number 34-30-16-10548-011-0010, and 34-30-16-00000-130-010. Item C5 is authorization for the City of Pinellas Park to grant a utility easement to Duke Energy for the property located at parcel number 34-30-16-10548-011-0010. Item C6 is ordinance number 2026-22, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Pinellas Park, Pinellas County, Florida, establishing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance, processing, review, approval, or issuance of building permits, rezonings, site plans, conditional use approvals, variances, comprehensive plan amendments, or other city approvals for the construction, establishment, expansion, or intensification of data centers, data center facilities, large-scale data centers, and large load customer facilities within the municipal limits of the City of Pinellas Park, providing legislative findings of fact, providing definitions, directing city staff to review and prepare land development code and related regulatory amendments, temporary moratorium imposed, providing duration of temporary moratorium, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. Item C7, authorization for the mayor to sign a warranty deed transferring real property from the City of Pinellas Park to the Pinellas Park Community Redevelopment Agency. Item C8 is authorization for the mayor to sign a quitclaim deed transferring a vacated right-of-way located adjacent to 4080 78th Avenue North from the City of Pinellas Park to Florida Community Loan Fund, Inc. Item C9 is authorization for the mayor to sign a quitclaim deed transferring a vacated right-of-way located adjacent to 4090 78th Avenue North from the City of Pinellas Park to Florida Community Loan Fund, Inc. Item C10 is authorization for purchase under the Interlocal Purchasing System, TIPS, for stormwater pipe rehabilitation at 79th Avenue, Vortex Companies, LLC. And that concludes tonight's consent agenda.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lee. Thank you, Mayor Bradbury. Regarding the consent agenda, I would like to make a motion to pass, approve, or adopt whichever action is appropriate, items C1 through C10, inclusive with item C6 being first reading prior to public hearing. The next public hearing will be held in council chambers on Tuesday, August the 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and second. Is there anybody in the audience that has any questions on these items? I would need you to come up and speak in the mic, please.
How big is this data center gonna be?
Name and address for the record.
Belinda Buckman. I'm at 8240 Burgundy Drive North, Pinellas Park. So how big is this data center going to be?
There is no data center. We're doing a moratorium on data centers coming before us for the time being.
Okay. But what is proposed?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Council, Mayor. My name is Janae. My address is on the card. I have a few questions about item C6 on the agenda. What independent publicly available studies will the city require to determine the cumulative effect of a data center with regards to electricity demand, environmental impact, anything like that? And will that be made available to the public as we move forward and during the moratorium process?
The items that city staff works on and city council gets provided to staff is public record.
Okay.
Once city staff starts doing their due diligence and everything, then they will be bringing it to city council to discuss.
Okay.
Before anything else moves forward.
Okay. And will the thank you for that. Will the conversation at any point just be about consideration of a moratorium, or will it also include the possibility of not moving forward at all?
This is a first reading prior to public hearing. We're going to have the public hearing at our next council meeting.
Okay.
To have a moratorium at this time so that city council and city staff can learn more about data centers and about the industry and the things that we may want or may not want to have in an ordinance in the future.
Okay, that makes sense. And I think my last question, are there any, or has there been any conversation, or will that be forthcoming about how we're just not moving forward after, like what is considered okay during the moratorium period to decide what moves forward, and what's considered not okay to decide we're not going to move forward with it?
We will be having more public hearings about them in the future.
Okay, so all of that information will be made available to the public for us to also review and come back and ask questions?
Yes, ma'am. All of our agenda items are always published prior to the agenda so that citizens can look at that information as well as call city staff to ask questions.
Okay. And final question, is it just going to be city staff that's doing the research during the moratorium period, or will there be outside independent studies or independent, research to provide substantial information about what you'll be making a decision on?
So as everybody knows, everybody's looking at this right now, just in this state, the whole nation. We look at everybody's stuff. We watch everybody's stuff. The state So legislation is also looking at this, and we're hoping sometime in this time we'll get some clarification from the state as well. There's going to be a lot of information coming out. This moratorium basically protects us in this meantime.
Okay. And there's no like pre-proposals or like guarantees with outside entities that we're just doing the moratorium to see what happens next?
Exactly right.
Okay.
There's nothing. In fact, the one, to clear this up just for a slight little bit, there was a permit applied for and it was denied.
Okay.
And we have not heard back in over 2 months now. It's almost 2 months. And that's what started this whole thing. It turned into, oh, it's coming, it's going to be here. It's not. It's not. This is helping protect us and let us sit back and kind of do our research and try to figure out what this looks like in the future.
I appreciate that part. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks, Council.
Yes.
And Mayor, if I may, just for the
Go ahead. Just give her one chance to talk. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Just for the record, I did just want to read into the record. City Council, you all did receive an email from a citizen named Lori Jones, and she just asked us to acknowledge this, and it was included in your backup materials. She is just also similarly just voting against the approval of any AI data centers in Pinellas Park. But again, as we all know, the item on the agenda really is just a moratorium. But just for the record's sake, I did just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you all for having me. I guess
Name and address for the record.
Name and address. Mike Lallman, 7200 118th Terrace, Largo, but it is Pinellas Park. So obviously, I'm in favor of this moratorium. Putting a pause on this. There's definitely, I think, some research that needs to be done, and it sounds like you guys are starting that process. It's not hard to do some research and find out all the negatives and some of the positives. But what it sounds like I'll be coming to the next meeting. The one thing I'll leave off then with is about 2-3 years ago, I came up here to talk to you, ma'am, about short-term rentals and issues having with short-term rentals. And the answer, talking with everyone here, the answer you gave me, ma'am, was that before the city passed any regulation, the city council never thought that short-term rentals would be an issue here in Pinellas Park because we're kind of far away, we're an industrial area. So we didn't do any actions. Well, we are coming up on an election year. Not trying to get political with it, but depending on how it goes, there could be influence of for or against this. So what I would say is now's the time we need to be proactive and get ahead of this and not let Tallahassee dictate what we're doing. So you said we didn't do that with short-term rentals. My challenge is let's do that with data centers.
Vice Mayor Butler.
I just wanted to add, and I appreciate that very much because Tallahassee is constantly trying to undermine our local control. But for the record, the short-term rental, whenever that conversation happened a few years ago, we were already preempted from it because the state's law went back to 2011. And the only city in the entire county that actually has one that can stand is the city of St. Petersburg.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you 100%. And I think just for the benefit of the audience, the way this is written, obviously, is such that it just kind of leaves it wide open. And the solutions that we come up with through working with staff is everything from highly restricted for certain things or a prohibition completely. Yep. And it's something that we need to work at specifically at the county level as well, because the county's talking about it as a whole. Because Pinellas County, I don't have to tell everybody in this room, we're full, okay? And for places like where you live, sir, you abut a bunch of industrial land and things that people could buy up and just build a data center there. Yep. So, spoiler alert, I'm going to be let's prohibit it in a year when we're done with this because there's too much to kind of navigate through because Pinellas County is so unique. So just for clarification, we can, once we get through this process, we're either going to restrict it highly or prohibit them completely. Like that's the game.
I'm in favor of that, and I appreciate that. And that's, like I said, I just wanted to bring up, we didn't foresee that with short-term rentals. Let's not do that with data centers.
Right.
So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Angela Terrio, and I had just a few questions on C6.
I need your address for the record, please.
Can I write it down and give it to you?
You sure can. Give it to the city clerks.
Okay, do I need to do it now? Or?
You can do it after you're done speaking.
Okay, thank you. So I had went to the Pinellas Forward meeting, and they had a big slide about the data centers and this and that, and there was no mention about a moratorium. Instead, they had created this subcommittee to move forward into changing the land zoning. There are public laws about like noise and things like that. There's also environmental problems and environmental review. And when I've dug into the research, the funding for that has been cut. So that means it would fall on the cities and the states. So I'm just wondering who would be overseeing the public laws, like the noise issues. Who is overseeing the environmental review to see what it does instead of just going off what everybody else says? Like, who would we go to find out who's doing that? Because right now, and it said it's an accelerated timeline on the Forward Pinellas for the data centers. So my question is, okay, they're trying to figure out the land, how to get the land zoned properly. This is from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, please. But who is looking into the important questions like how is it going to affect the environment or the noise or our health and all these other major things that outweigh anything that the money or whatever could come from these data centers?
That's the reason why we are doing, potentially voting on this moratorium this evening, is so that us as city council and our staff can do research on those questions that you just asked.
Right.
Before
And
we make any decisions in the future. Right now, we're saying no. This is something that we need to do a lot of research on before we would even consider allowing one to come.
And is that something that could be possibly put into one of these motions, that looking into those things, who is
That's
going
what
to,
the moratorium's for.
right? I just don't see anywhere where it talks about that.
I can help you just a
Yeah,
little
if
bit.
you
So
could.
any project, we're not talking data centers, but any project, any building, any house project, we have staff. We have the state that looks at these things. We have local noise ordinances in place. We have laws in place. All those things are covered. We're just saying tonight, we want time to sit back and, if they pass this, look at these for the
Right.
data centers alone. But every project that comes through, we look at every one of those things you're talking about.
And-
Not only us as a city, the county, and the state.
Right, and who enforces those laws though?
We do.
Okay, so like if there is a public law that
You see that man in the uniform over there?
right.
That's how it works.
If
Okay.
somebody called and
Yeah.
said there was a loud noise and it was continuous or something of that nature,
The
the
police get
police
involved.
department actually goes out. They have decibel readers to
Okay,
check
great.
on those items.
Well, I know that was an issue the last meeting I came to. A woman was having that issue
That's a
actually with
concern.
one of the things that was on the agenda tonight, I think right in that area, because she was having a lot of noise and she said she's been coming a while.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything done with that. So this is just a larger thing. And I know we can call the police, but some things are more than just calling the police if something's going on. So that's why I'm just bringing it up because, and then the environmental review, like there's no environmental review for Pinellas Park.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, there is?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to find the information for that. I've called a few times and no one's been able to give it to me.
Mr. Nick. Wait, that gentleman can kind of explain a lot of that to you.
Oh, okay, great.
There's several environmental
You've heard of the EPA,
groups.
the DEP.
FDEP, Swift Mud. There's a whole bunch of groups out there that check on those items, and our city staff can kind of explain that to you in
I
more
can talk to
detail.
you more after, so we can save time
Okay,
to
great.
others.
Yeah,
But
it's like contracted out or is it through you guys?
It's through the state, and our staff verifies a lot of those items. But like I said, Nick can go into more detail with you on that.
Okay, great. I'm just concerned about it. Like I have a child. I've talked to the water department. He's also concerned if there's the forever chemicals that if they get into, say it like steams out or whatever and goes to the reclaim plant, then it goes through the process and they sell it back to the citizens and it's watering the grass. What is the long-term effects? I'm just concerned and I'm glad this is on here.
We
I
have
just wanted to bring up
like a three-minute time frame, and
Oh,
which
okay.
is over. But
Okay,
if
thank
you
you.
would
I
talk to
appreciate
Nick,
it.
then he can kind of go over some of those more detailed questions.
Okay, and it really was a beautiful tribute before the meeting, so.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Is there anybody else that has any questions on the consent agenda items? Seeing none, All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to section 6, comments from city council and city staff. Councilmember Sabille.
I have nothing.
You have nothing. Miss Patty.
I do.
Do you want me to come back to you?
Yeah, come back.
Okay.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Vice Mayor.
I got nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Tim.
I'm fine.
No. City clerks. No. Dick.
I actually have one item. I want to congratulate the city and I give a big round of applause and kudos to staff. We have now went from we have something called the Community Rating System, CRS is the acronym, and it deals with insurance and floodplain management. And we went from a class 6 to a class 5, which means residents now have about a 25% reduction in their insurance costs. That was a big undertaking because there's a lot of roadblocks in the way to do these things. And staff did a great job of working it through the state and working it through the county system. So that's big news for the residents of the city.
Thank you, sir. What's going on in the community, Miss Hyde?
Hi, everyone, again. Tomorrow night and for the next month, Sprouse Horizon Sports Park continues their Movie in the Park series. The show starts at 7 p.m. This Sunday is the last of 3 sound bath series at Skyview Pool. The event starts at 6 p.m. and it has been a great way to relax. And then on August 15th, the Woodstock and Santana tribute concert is going to be at the Performing Arts Center. The doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7. Thank you.
Chiefs? Nothing? All right, Miss Patty.
Oh, it's me.
This better
No,
be
I
good.
just, seeing everybody come in and, my heart goes out for Lieutenant Riley and his family. And as a community and us being part of this village, it shows how strong and how supportive everybody is when something happens and we all mourn with them. And it also goes to show with everybody coming out that lives in Pinellas Park, how proud they are where we are and how supportive they want to keep Pinellas Park the way that it is and the way that we are. So that's just, it's a cool place to be. And now your insurance gets to be lower because you live in Pinellas Park. That's a second really cool thing that I just found out. But just got to say thanks to everybody for making our city amazing. And lots of thanks to the spouses and the partners to our people who work in the city. And I say that because we had a really nice award ceremony and promotions today. And one of the young officers that got promoted said the exact same thing. And, we forget that without the people at home taking care of their home life and taking care of everything, and this goes for our public works, this goes for everybody that works for the city. If it wasn't for them, their families, they wouldn't be able to do what they do. And so a huge thanks to them. And we're heading into the season of craziness. And just thanks ahead of time. I super appreciate everybody. And thanks to our residents for being the coolest people ever. That's all I got.
Thank you. Yes. Our city was blessed to have got to know and watched Mr. Caden Riley grow up in our community. So, and his family shared him with us. We have wonderful city staff, and we are a big family, village, community. And I appreciate the citizens coming out and learning more about City Council, voicing your opinions, letting us know how you feel about our city and our community. It is greatly appreciated. We have a community redevelopment agency meeting right after the City Council meeting. We'll continue to be taking probably about 5. So at this time, the City Council meeting is adjourned. We hope everybody is blessed.